Okay, welcome to Sigma Tech once again. Today we are going to be looking at coordinate geometry. Whenever we talk about coordinate geometry, there are two variables should come to your mind. We are trying to represent the x and y axis when we talk about coordinate. And there are some questions we should expect under this topic. Though it's a wide topic, but we are picking an aspect of it, such as gradient of a line or slope of a line, straight line, equation of a straight line, a perpendicular or parallel. We may also get to distance between 2 points. You may also see questions like this, that we're talking about midpoint of line segment. When you get to that point, we still have to know what to do about such a question. This same coordinate I'm talking about, we are going to consider areas of a rectangle or rhombus. What do we mean by an area? An area is just a surface covered by any two-dimensional shape or what? Object. The linear relationship. A linear relationship is a relationship involving variables with what? Index. With index. Let's go ahead. Look at it. A linear relationship. F of A is being plotted here. This is a straight line graph, okay? Linear. You can watch the video. You see the way it's going. Okay, now let us consider nothing. Non-linear relationship. Power as a function of current was plotted. You can see the power. You can see current. That is, power being function of current. The current is being produced as a result of what? The application of the power. You watch the kind of graph, the way it moves. I am just interpreting this for you to understand where I am trying to venture into. Here is the topic now, equation of straight line. I cannot go into equation straight just like that without talking about the slope. But the first thing you have to know or learn from this video is that the equation of a straight line, y equals to mx plus c, okay? Where m means what? The slope. Listen very well. Slope is the same thing as saying dy ds, that is gradient. I can call it the gradient. I can also call it mathematically change in y all over who? Change in x. Listen to the names I'm calling. Slope, gradient, change in y all over who? Change in x. Or to a layman pattern or understanding, y2 minus y1 all over who? X2 minus x1. All this thing you are seeing is what is m is made up of. M can be this, this, and this. So it's encapsulated here, encapsulated within m are what? Y2, y1, s2, s1, which will give us a slope. So now, one may be wondering, how can we get an equation from this? You are going to see it because we are having the intercept. But remember, x-axis is already existing here, and the y-axis is also existing. Looking at the screen, what we have, it has been interpreted. Y the b is called what? The y-intercept. I am using C. I call it y what? Intercept. Okay. Why this person is called what? The slope, I have already explained. Or you call it the y, the s. Changing this and changing that. Okay, let's further ahead. The equation of straight line. I have explained it some couple of minutes ago. So we're not going to waste or delay or debate more on this. The intercept of a straight line. When a graph is plotted, when you plot a graph, remember in your physics, when you plot this way and you have a negative graph, look at the intercept here. Have you come to realize that the intercept is what? It's y-intercept, which is C. Some textbook can tell you another alphabet. You know, like I told you, when we are learning logarithm and indices, that x is not permanent. It's choice. So this is y-intercept, okay? So that is the slope. Equation of the straight line and what application. Find the gradient. Look at a graph that was plotted. To look for the gradient, let me just draw this graph. We can have a graph like this. I will have some numbers. Let's say this is -1, and here is 2, and here is 2, and let's say 3, 4, this -2, -1, -2, -3. I can have here 1, this is 2, and this is 3. Look at it. Now, if I have a graph that is going this way, it passes through this place. A straight line, which is my graph, maybe my line of best fit, falls that way. And if I want to get my slope, let me extend this line. This is x-axis as usual. I can decide to say, if the points are here, and I decide to go this way, look at it. Are you all seeing this right angle? Triangle. I am trying to indicate the slope. So, if I trace this way, here is already traced. I call here y1, then here y2. Then this point, x1, this point is what? s2. So what is gradient? M, in brackets, slope, equals what? y2 minus y1 all over s2 minus s1 equals to change in y all over change in s. This is what I have. I will begin to trace it. From here, m equals y2. Look at it. See y2 here is, let's say it's -1. I will write. Okay, this is my y1, this is y2. Y2 is, let's say it's 1, okay? And y2 is -1, meaning -1 all over s2. See my s2, see my s1. This is 2 minus 0. So I will have what now? 1 minus -1 means 2, all over 2. So m equals what? 1. The gradient will give me 1. If I have 1 as my gradient and I am interested to form an equation from this, you can easily do that. Recall that y equals ms plus c. Am I communicating? Yes. If y is that, remember your what? The value of your s1, the value of your y1. But if question is given in a plain way, maybe creating two coordinates. JAMB does that. For you to form the equation of your straight line, you must create what we call a midpoint of line segment. Because some of us are fond of doing this. Whenever two coordinates are given, after getting their slope, you see them calling the first value they are seeing as y1 and s1. You are wrong. You are doing the wrong thing. But from your graph, it is possible, and you can equally create it. Okay, let us look at this. You know, this is y1, s1. This is, okay, y1 is 0. y1 is minus 1, and our s1 is 0. I say 0, minus 1. I am getting my coordinate now. I am generating it from the graph. So the other one is what? 2, 1. Let's say this is point A and this is point B. And I want to generate form the equation of a straight line from this. This is our straight line, forming the equation. When you have a ruler, you just draw a very perfect line. You know, this line is not straight. Okay, we can manage it. So now, I have my gradient already. I will create midpoint of line segment. Midpoint, pay attention please. Midpoint is saying that x is equal to x2 plus x1 all over 2. And that y equals y2 plus y1 all over 2. So I want to get the rival of s, which will now answer my s1 in formation of my equation of a straight line. So I ask myself, what is x2? 2 plus 0 all over 2. I will have what? 1. Can you see it? This I'm forming it now. Therefore, y2 is what? 1 minus, okay, plus minus 1 all over 2. This is 1 minus 1, that's 0. So now, x, y, the original coordinate equals what? 1, 0. Can you see it? Which some of us, once they see two coordinates, you see them rushing to pick this one. This value you are seeing here, is this still the same thing here? No. There is a reversal in the value. So what are we going to do now? We are going to use this to generate. Knowing that y equals to mx plus c, y1 is 1. Okay, so 0. Alright. Equals m. What is my m? 1 into x. What is my s? 1 plus c. So I'll now have that 0 equals 1 plus c. C now equals to minus 1. I have my y-intercept as who? Minus 1. Okay, once I have this, I will go back to the original equation. What's the original equation? Y equals to mx plus c. So now y equals, what is our m? Our m was who? 1. If I put 1 here, if I multiply 1 by x here, I will have x. Then minus 1. So the equation of this straight line now, depending on the graph we plotted, is what? Y equals x minus 1. But the one they plotted in the screen, as you can see, is what? Y equals 1 over 2x minus 1. It depends on what your value is reading. You just don't copy another person's slope because you want to plot or you want to interpret something. So, talking about nonlinear forms of graph, we are not going to depend much on this. Given y equals px raised to y plus this can be reduced by what? Plotting the graph of y against this. So these are other ways graph can be plotted. So now at this point, I want to solve more questions on equation of a straight line when it's going to be perpendicular, parallel to each other, before I talk about area of a triangle. We're going to see how area of a triangle can be handled. Let's look at our Examguide app, following it to solve, okay? Let's see some questions. Now, this question says, find the gradient of the line passing through the points -2, 0, and 0, -4. It's a straight question anyway. So now, the gradient or slope m equals, where is y2? cy2, cy1. This is x1. This is x2, okay? Don't mix them together. So -4 -0 all over 0 minus -2, m equals -4 all over 2. So gradient equals to -2. Then you check the answer. What is there in the solution? A said 2, B -4, C -2, D 4. And the correct answer is C, -2. Okay, another question. Let's solve number 2. Okay, find the distance between the points 1/2, 1/2, and -1/2, -1/2. Like I told you that this topic is somehow wide. This one is talking about distance between 2 points. The formula D equals square root of x2 minus x1 all squared plus y2 minus y1 all squared. I will have that D equals square root of x2, which is -1/2, then minus s1 all squared plus -1/2 minus 1/2. This is what they gave to us. We did not manufacture it. So now, -1/2 minus 1/2 will give us what? -2/2, which is what? -1. The same thing will work out here. So we are going to have, this is -1, okay? All squared plus -1 all squared. So I will have that 1 square is 1 plus 1. Distance equals 1 plus 1, that's √2. So the distance between this point is what? Sort 2, or you call it √2, and that becomes the solution. So you can see it's option D is the correct answer. So let's go to another question. What is the locus of point equidistant from point P 1,3 and 3,5? You know, these people, they are wonderful people. Is this same formula you're using, but one value of x and one value of y will not be given to enable us form the equation, because they are just interested in the equation, but they are just missing it up. They are interested in the equation, they are just missing it up. So now, our rule is what? x2 minus x1. Assume that x1 is not existing, because they are looking for locus of point. This is the type of question when some of you see in JAMB, you won't know where to start. You know formula, you apply formula, yet it's not working. See what we are going to do. like I said, Formula 1, x2, we are seeing 1 as x2, just 1 minus x all square plus y2 3 minus y all square equals, the same thing will happen here at the right hand side, square root of 3 minus s all square plus 5 minus y all square. Fine. If you look at this very well, you can see this has taken care of itself. Not much argument there. So we're going to have 1 minus s all into 1 minus s plus 3 minus y all into 3 minus y being equal to 3 minus s all into 3 minus s plus 5 minus y all into 5 minus y. So square root will disappear because both of them are equal to each other. So I want to interpret from this end. This is 1 minus s plus s squared, okay? And then here now, this is 9 minus 3y plus y squared equals, I'm interpreting right hand side, and this is 9 minus 3s plus s squared. Then continuation plus 25 minus 5y plus y squared. Okay? Then this is 1 minus 2s plus s squared plus 9 minus 6y plus y squared equals to 9 minus 6s plus s squared plus 25. I will continue the writing here, minus 10y plus y squared. Watch very well. S squared is here, is also here. Y squared is here, is also here. You know, in mathematics, our interest is to reduce the problem to barest minimum. Okay, here now, 1 plus 9 is 10, minus 2s, minus 6y, equals, this plus this, that's 34, minus 6x, minus 10y. I will have to say that 10 minus 34 minus 2s plus 6x minus 6y plus 10y equals 0. I'm reducing it because, you know, I told you their target is just an equation. Form that equation for them. So this minus this is what? Minus 24. Minus 24 plus 4x plus 4y equals to 0. If I divide this thing all through now, I'm going to have y x plus y minus 6 equals to 0. Remember, they are interested in an equation. So what are we going to do? I will say that y now equals 6 minus s. Or I can say y equals minus s plus 6. This becomes the equation they are looking for. Look at it. Minus y. Okay, except if I introduce. Okay, let's check the solution. D is correct. Look at it. Y equals minus s plus 6. So the answer is correct. But you have to be very careful about this type of question. It's not just when you see find the locus of point equidistant from this point, you begin to think, I'm nothing. Think about it very well to avoid abracadabra. Look at another one here and find the equation of line passing through the point 5, 7 and is parallel to the line 7s plus 5y equals 12. Okay, I have to write it down first. To do this, recall mass, further mass, they are always dealing with rules. Rule for parallelism, it's a parallelism, because they say parallel to. Now I want to show you a rule for parallelism. M1 equals M2 equals N, okay? Meaning just a gradient. This value is the centenars, it's also the centenars, that's just the rule. But don't play with this person. Y equals to mx plus c. Don't play with it even if you're sleeping, know it even in your dream. So to handle this problem we are seeing on the screen, you recall the law for parallelism, which is what? M1 equals M2 equals N. Also, remember this, Y equals MS plus C. It's a general formula. But on that challenge here, the equation is what? 7s plus 5y being equal to what? 12. You must make this equation to look like this. How do you do that? You decide to say 5y equals 12 minus 7s, okay? So, this is still not enough, because y, a number is attached to y. Make sure that that number will not be seen again. That is 7 over 5x this way. This is it. You can see this equation is looking like this now. So the next thing here now, you are going to solve by what? Comparison. Solving by comparison, we'll have that mx will be equal to who? Minus 7x all over 5. So that's x here, s here, and becomes what? Minus 7 over 5. That's a good one. Now we'll have the slope. What next are we supposed to do? We are supposed to think about how to form this equation that was given to us. Recall, there is an existing coordinate. What are they? 5, 7. Is the existing coordinate 5, 7. So now, to cap it all, recall that I'll just say y equals ms plus c. Because I know you may have seen another method of this. Recall, you can also solve like this. M equals y minus y1 all over x minus s1. I will come to this. When I finish with this, I will conclude with this. Just to let you know they are the sentence so that you will be discouraged after learning this while you are seeing this now. Okay? So the first thing here, now this is 7 equals to m. What is our m? Minus 7 over 5. I told the JAMB they are too intelligent. CS, can you see it? It will easily eliminate itself here. Look at it. This is 7 equals to minus 7 equals c. C now equals 7 plus 7. C equals what? 14. Now, to form this equation, finally, what you need to do, you go back to the original decision. What is the equation? Y equals ms. What is m? Minus 7 over 5. Then you put x plus who? 14. If you don't like it to be like this, you don't have issue. So what do? Quickly multiply by saying 5 here, 5 here. This is 5y equals minus 7s plus 70. If you want them to be together or come together, you can still say 5y plus 7s equals 70. And this is what? The equation of the straight line. You have formed the equation of the straight line. Okay, to prove to you that this formula, in case some of you know this one, will still produce the same solution, what do? Minus 7 over 5 equals y minus 7 all over 5 minus, okay, s minus 5. Cross multiply, I'll have minus 7 into s minus 5 equals 5 into y minus 7. Minus 7s plus 35 equals 5y minus 35. Then minus 7s plus 35 plus 35 equals 5y. Then 5y plus 7s equals 70. Ladies and gentlemen, at this juncture, I think you can now see that this and this, they are the same. Therefore, make your choice. Once again, I want to thank you for taking your time for this video. I also encourage you to go into our exam guide so that you can solve more questions in order to perfect what you are doing.